Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for tonight. We have another 9-gamer, so the alternating 9-5 continues. We have 9 games today, which I am looking forward to. Yesterday's slate was kind of an absolute mess. Not only did the Giannis news come right before lock, but just some weird things happened. Simons got hurt, and he played terrible when he wasn't hurt. And the Grizzlies winning by 73, which I guess you probably wouldn't be shocked that they blew out the Thunder, but winning by 73, that it was an NBA record. You don't see that happen ever. So just some wild things happening. Looking at tonight's slate, we have some more options and some better players to target, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Let's get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it if the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Looking at the point guard options for tonight, the top end, you have Steph Curry, Luka, James Harden, Westbrook, all above 11,000. Out of that group, I think Luka probably looks pretty appealing. Kristaps is questionable again today for a different issue. He was questionable heading into the last game, but he ended up playing. I think he's dealing with like a sore knee or something like that. So if he's out today, a slight bump for Luka, not a major bump, but I just feel better about playing Luka when Kristaps is not in the game as well. He was on pace to absolutely destroy the Pelicans. Then he only played 3 quarters, didn't play in the fourth. They won by over 30 points. But he was on pace for probably close to 70 if he had to play his full minutes. So I'd probably go Luka as my favorite, then I'd go Steph Curry, then I'd go Harden, then Westbrook. Looks like LeBron James will be able to play today. He is probable. So he got the 2 negative tests in a span of 24 hours. So he should be fine. It's a good spot against the Clippers in terms of just the Battle of LA. Should be a fun game to watch. Paul George rested last game, so he should be fresh and ready to go to play his heavy minutes today. So expecting a pretty close game between these two. When the Lakers are all healthy, which they might not be because Anthony Davis is questionable. So hopefully Davis plays. If Davis doesn't, you can look to LeBron at 10-4. I like LeBron more than 11,000. Russell Westbrook. Bradley Beal, Trae Young, both pretty expensive. I'm not that interested in either one right now. Devin Booker is still out. So you can go down to some of these Suns guys, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, go to some of the value picks. Brogdon is up to 85. He's been playing great. The matchup isn't the best, but the Miami Heat are missing some of their better defenders. No Bam and no Jimmy Butler, so it's not as bad of a spot as it could have been. The price tag on Brogdon is very high at 85, but they are dealing with injuries. No Justin Holiday and no TJ McConnell, so there should be a lot of minutes to go around. But Brogdon already does play like 40 minutes in close games, so at least you weren't expecting to play anything under like 38 in a close game. I probably slightly prefer Brogdon over like D'Angelo Russell. Russell is 87. He would be a much better play if Cat is ruled out. If Cat is in, then I have no interest in that price tag. I kind of like Cole Anthony today. He's $8,200. The matchup is solid against Houston. I love targeting teams against Houston. I also love targeting teams against the Magic. When teams like these play against each other, there's probably going to be some fantasy points on both sides. So I don't mind playing Cole Anthony. After missing a long stretch of games, he came right back and he played 37 minutes. So after missing like 12 days, missing 3 or 4 games, got right back to his normal minutes. They don't have Jalen Suggs, so more usage for Cole Anthony, and he has been playing great. He's been so good this year, taking a huge step forward, not only being efficient, shooting the ball well, and just contributing with the rebounding and the assists. Other guys that we have at point guard, cheaper than $8,000. You have Kevin Porter Jr. 77. It looks like he probably won't play today. He's questionable, but they said he's probably going to miss some time. At least that's what was the initial report. So I don't know if they will rush to get him back out there. So if Kevin Porter Jr. is out, that makes Christian Wood look better. He's probable after getting hurt again. Well, not again, but he got hurt and Kevin Porter Jr. both got hurt in the same game, which is pretty wild. Lowry is 78. He's fine. The matchup is solid. I prefer getting to Tyler Hero for $300 less. Hero was started last game, played 36 minutes, just wasn't that efficient, didn't really get you any real big peripheral stats. 6 assists is fine, but no steals, no blocks. Not that he's a big block guy, but only 1 rebound. He's averaging 5.5. So not a pretty disappointing game, but Cleveland is a good defensive team. They only scored 85. It should be a lot higher scoring game against the Pacers, so I have no problem plugging in Tyler Hero in a very good spot. So Cole Anthony, Tyler Hero, the 2 guys to get us started. Guys in the 6K range that look somewhat interesting would be Dennis Schroeder at 6K flat because there is no Jaylen Brown today. The matchup is tough in Utah, but if you wanted to get to some of these Celtics guys without Jaylen Brown, Schroeder would be one of the guys to consider. LeVert has been really disappointing. He's 57. His price tag is dropping. Well, at least on FanDuel, it's dropping a lot. DraftKings has been around the same. He's playable just with the injuries that they have. They'll probably have to give him 30-plus minutes, but I'm not sure he is like the best play in that range. Brunson, he looks appealing if there is no Porzingis. There's a chance he could start next to Luka, and that would be $4,900 price tag on him would be very appealing. Graham is cheap at 47. And then at the bottom, I looked at guys like Armani Brooks at $3,400 if there is no Kevin Porter, which he's questionable. It's a 8 o'clock game, so hopefully we'll get that news by 7. But if there's no Kevin Porter Jr., then I like Brooks to possibly start. Even if he doesn't start, he'd be like the 6th guy off the bench and still see good minutes in the high 20s, low 30s. And he does give you upside. He got you some good production last year at the end of the season. He was when they were giving all the young guys playing time. Brooks did showcase a bit. And he's near min salary guy that does give you 8 to 10x upside. Moving on to the shooting guard position, the top end, you have Bradley Beal, probably a fade. Donovan Mitchell, not that interested. Russell. Edwards, I like Edwards more than Russell if there is no Karl Anthony Towns. But we'll have to wait and see on that news. It is a 7:30 game, so we should get that news by lock. Other plays that we could look to would be Marcus Smart, I guess, at 6,000, but he's not been very fun to roster this year. Herter is 51. He's pretty expensive. I'd rather go down to Cam Reddish if he does play. Reddish is only $3,400. I'd take the $1,700 savings and go with Cam Reddish. Shooting guard is pretty ugly, which is why you can plug in Tyler Hero. Looks really appealing. Chris Duarte would get you good minutes today at $4,400, just without TJ McConnell, without Holiday. He played 35 last game. Probably couldn't do worse point per minute wise. Only put up 17 points. And then Gary Harris has been producing. He's only $4,000, playing 30-plus minutes. You can get you 6x upside. And Beasley, if there's no Cat, would be a better play. Just more usage to be had for these other guys. Take him out for now. Going over to small forward. All the way at the top, you have a couple of expensive pieces. Durant is 11-4 going up against Minnesota. Then you have the 2 guys in LA. They're fine. Then you have Tatum at 10-1. Right now, I don't have any of the interest in the top-end guys just with the lack of value that we have in some of these spots. We have some value at like Houston, but if we get some more value throughout the day, you can probably get up to like LeBron or Durant or PG. I like Edwards at 85, like I mentioned. If there's no Karl Anthony Towns, you would get more value right out of the gate. If Cat is ruled out, you can plug in $3,300 Naz Reid, play him at power forward or center at almost min salary. You have a pretty expensive price tag on Otto Porter. Don't have much interest, in like Horton Tucker or Hardaway or Carter at $5,100. Cam Johnson had a good game off the bench. He's only $4,200. He looks pretty appealing. Just a guy that can get hot from 3, and he's been shooting the ball really well this year. Cam Reddish, 34, looks like a good value pick if he is able to play today. And then you have Jayshawn Tate at 6,000. He looks appealing if there's not going to be Kevin Porter Jr. today. Even if Kevin Porter Jr. does play, he's playable. I'll probably pivot elsewhere. But if there's no KPJ, then Tate and Wood would be the guys on offense that really step up and play big minutes and produce. Last game, he had the game of his life with 670 fantasy points, 7 stocks, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 32 real-life points against OKC. The price tag went up by $600, but there's still a lot of usage to be had if there's no Porter today. So right now, have him in there. You can pivot if Porter gets ruled in. Power forward, I like some of the plays right here in the mid-range, in the 6 to like 8K range. You have some nice pieces like John Collins. You have Al Horford at 68, but I like Mobley at 67. Nice price tag on Evan Mobley. He plays really solid minutes, 32 to 35, and pretty close game. If he's playing really well, they can push him up towards 40 minutes, but don't really see that happening with them kind of having some of their bigs. They don't have Chetty Osman today, but they have Kevin Love, who's been playing better. They have Jared Allen. But a guy that gets you a lot of blocks, gets you some steals as well, gets you rebounds, double shot, shoots the ball effectively, can even shoot the 3 as well. Just does everything. Great matchup against Washington. You can attack their front court very easily. So, like a very nice price tag on Evan Mobley. Other cheaper plays at the position at power forward would be like Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson at the bottom, maybe Gallinari if you wanted to play him in tournaments. But that's basically it. There's not such a deep position today at power forward. At center, you have Embiid at 10.5. If you wanted to pay up for him, he's definitely viable. Cat is questionable. Keep an eye on that. You have Sabonis 96. His price tag has gone up, so not that interested. I'd rather go down to Christian Wood's also expensive, but he still gives you like 60-point upside. Valanciunas is 94. I'd probably go Sabonis, Wood, then Valanciunas in that range. Probably won't really try to break the bank though. You have some good value at center, like Mo Bamba is $6,400, and you have Deadman at 48, coming off a really solid game. His price tag has jumped up, so I'm not sure he's not as much of a lock as he was last game at $3,100 at 48. You're going to need him to really produce and stay out of foul trouble, something that he hasn't done a lot of this year. He's averaging 2 fouls in 14 minutes, so if he plays 28 minutes, that's around 4 fouls, maybe. The matchup is okay against Indiana. Like Sabonis can draw some fouls. Turner, he really just shoots threes. But I'm going to go with $6,400 Mo Bamba against this Houston front court. I like Mo Bamba a lot. I like playing him. I haven't played him a ton, but the games that I have played him, he's really gone off. He's had his best games of the year. He plays solid minutes today. Having Cole Anthony back probably gives him some easier looks at the basket. Anthony can throw some alley-oops. He's been solid on the road and at home. A very good matchup against Houston just to put up points, rack up some blocks against this young team. They also turn the ball over a lot, so can get you some steals as well. And I don't expect him to be super popular, and he does give you like 50-point upside. So Mo Bamba looks appealing at a very nice tag. Now that he's like the same price tag as Wendell Carter, he's cheaper than him. I'd rather go Mo Bamba than Wendell Carter. And it leaves you with $5,900 left for the other two spots. So I really like this build. You got a bunch of high upside guys in this lineup. All 6 of these guys give you upside for 6x and more. So that's it for DraftKings. Let's talk about FanDuel. All right, FanDuel will have a very interesting player to talk about in a couple of minutes. But at the point guard spot to get it started, you have the guys above 10K as usual. I think Luka looks the best, followed by Steph Curry, then James Harden. Westbrook is okay, but you're going to have to hope that Davis is out before you kind of consider playing him. Chris Paul's price tag is up to almost 9K. He's fine. I like Cole Anthony at 83. I like Brogdon at 78. Going further down, like $6,500 Kyle Lowry against Indiana looks very appealing without Jimmy Butler and without Bam. So that would be one of the first guys to plug in. You have Dennis Schroeder at only $5,500. He looks appealing. Super cheap. And that's the main pieces. You can take a shot on some of these guys at the bottom if we get some more news throughout the day. At shooting guard, same type of deal. You can get up to Doncic if you wanted to. I like Cole Anthony, 83. You have good price tag on like Edwards if there's no Cat at 81. Brogdon, Tyler Hero, you can even play him at small forward now, so that's very appealing. Hero at 7,000, expect him to draw the start again. And then you have $4,700 Karis LeVert. He's so cheap on FanDuel. He hasn't produced at all this year, except for maybe 1 or 2 games. But he's at the price tag now where he's $4,800, where you probably want to take a shot on considering him. He's priced around the same guys as Patty Mills, Danny Green, Kevin Huerter, Joe Ingles, Gary Harris, Finney Smith. Like, I'd play Karis LeVert over all those guys. Hopefully he comes through today. And this is like one of the better spots just in terms of getting minutes without McConnell and without Holiday. Small forward, I don't mind getting to Paul George, Tatum. Probably like those guys better than 11K Kevin Durant. Edwards looks appealing. Tate is better on DraftKings. 75 is a big price tag. You would definitely want to wait and see if Kevin Porter Jr. is out before you consider playing him at that price tag. I'd rather go down to Brandon Ingram. But Hero looks to be like the best play just overall. 7K, play him at 2 spots. We need value. You can go down to $5,800 Andrew Wiggins. Super cheap on Wiggins. He's only small forward eligible now, so that hurts a little bit. Other plays that look appealing would be like you could play LeVert at small forward if he got some better value. But really not that much interest at the bottom here. You kind of have guys priced where they should be. At power forward, Durant is 11K. Wood is 86. I kind of like Wood at 86. If there's no Porter Jr., then even more usage for guys like Christian Wood. Going further down, Mobley is 77, so I have much more interest on him on DraftKings. I don't have any really on FanDuel at that price tag. You have some decent value picks here in like the below 5K range if you needed to go super cheap. You can take a shot on some of these Suns pieces here, like Crowder. We didn't even talk about Cam Johnson, but he had a great game, and he's probably like $3,900 again, like he was yesterday. Marcus Morris starting to get his minutes back, but he's not really produced. He had one good game 2 games ago, and then they got blown out by the Kings for somehow without Paul George. I guess it happens, but the Kings been not good this year. They got blown out at home. So for me, I think you can make a case for a lot of these guys, but I'm going to go with Christian Wood for now at 86. At center, you have Embiid at 10-2. Looks great if you want us to get up to him. Gobert, not that interested in. Sabonis, 85. Looks a lot better than his DraftKings salary. You have Valanciunas, decent tag, 82. Ayton, 878. So a lot of these guys, I think, will get some decent ownership. I don't think Mo Bamba will get any ownership today. I love the matchup against Houston. Him and Christian Wood going back and forth a bit. The price tag on him is kind of high. It's not something I would have done, but I like him a similar amount to some of these guys that are more expensive than him. And there's not like great value. You have Dedmon, but he's 55, so that's a pretty high price tag on a guy that had a good game last time out, but he's not been that consistent. And the price tag on him has jacked up. So if he's going to be chalk, just give me Bamba for $1,700 more, a guy that can rack up the blocks, especially against Houston. And on FanDuel, you get 3 points for those, so that's pretty appealing. But if there's no Karl-Anthony Towns and you want to go down to Naz Reid at $4,400, he'd be the play. Then you could upgrade at some of these other spots. But that's about it for the video. Thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I will see you all next time.